In all games, you have your winners and you have your losers, and with Survivor, it takes a lot to win, and not many can say that they're a sole survivor. However, these 8 players surely can say that they outwitted, outplayed, and outlasted all their fellow players, and became the sole survivor. But not all winners are seen equally by the public eye, and that's what I'm here to do today in this video. So, here are my rankings of the 8 winners of Elite Chris's MC Survivor. This is based on my opinions of their game, how they got to the end, how they earned it, etc, etc. Like I said, this is my ranking, so it's my opinion on who played better. If you ain't happy with the ranking, then make your own. So, let's get started with the winner I have the lowest opinion of.
Just let me, pursue, I'm the magic. Let me, give a little take,
The winner of Minecraft Survivor Kootenai, Sting.
It's a pretty known fact at this point that I have a very low opinion on the Kootenai Final 3, and that also affects my view on its winner, Sting. The reason why I put Sting on the very bottom of my ranking is simply because I think, in my opinion, he didn't do anything in Kootenai. Didn't really make any moves, didn't do anything impactful, and wasn't memorable as a player. His game was very much hiding in the shadows, and he never got out of them. When I think of Kootenai moments, I think of the super idle play or the fact that JT misplayed an advantage, none of which involves Sting. Now, to give him credit, he was very good at not making himself his target. Like I said, he did a good job hiding in the shadows. It's just there's nothing really impressive about that. And to be fair, his competition was just a guy who did what he was told and somebody who was all talk and no game. So it was very slim pickings on who would win. I can fairly say no matter who would have won out of Sting, Joey, and Jason, they'd still be the lowest on my ranking.
The winner of Minecraft Survivor Sherwood, Andrea.
Just missing out on the bottom spot of this list is Andrea, the very first winner in Survivor Sherwood. Now, her placement is low due to the fact that it's season 1, there wasn't anything groundbreaking in this season at all, and how Andrea got to the end was simply winning all the pre-merge challenges and then just voting people off one by one again. Pretty much, once again, no moves, really. When you only go to 4 tribals, there's not a lot to go off of. There wasn't really much to compare to literally any of the seasons after this, so I had to give it some slack. Andrea's above Sting because while both were on boring sides of things when it came to gameplay, Andrea at least had control and was in a deciding position in her alliance and kept it tight. As well, she had more of a difficult opponent in Kyle compared to the Kootenai Final 3, but still doesn't make up for the fact that the other winners did better in my opinion.
The winner of Minecraft Survivor the Caribbean, Trevor. Congratulations.
Trevor is our unique winner out of the group due to the situation of the Caribbean season was in regarding what happened behind the season. So in this season, similar to the last 2 I talked about, there wasn't really anything in this season Trevor did that stood out game-wise or was impressive in any way. It was just a simple majority alliance that stuck together and pegonged the other players, same as Andrea. Again, like Andrea, Trevor managed to keep his boys together, usually because Trevor was the other target by the other alliance, but anyways. And he was able to predict to not vote for Killer since he wanted to target him countless times and pretty much make him waste his idols. So good on him for knowing when to not go for a certain target. However, it doesn't really change the fact he didn't do anything game-wise or social-wise with the other players. He just kind of stuck with his allies the whole time. But hey, he had that power for more than 4 tribals. It's more I can say for some of these other winners.
Minecraft Survivor, the Nile. Landslide, congrats.
We now got the most recent winner as of making this video, Landslide, the winner of Survivor the Nile. Now, I gotta bring up the fact that he is the only winner to win every single pre-merge challenge and never have gone to single pre-merge tribal council. That's impressive. So there's a point for him there. Landslide had a lot going for him. He had majority with being a part of the Swap Shams tribe, but also another majority in the OG Hikmah 4, but he didn't need to rely on all these majorities for things. He was a part of that whole mess of a first tribal council, with him trying to save his OG Hikmah people, Chase and Kid, as well as that gun blind side. He also knew he didn't want to rely on these lucky majorities that made it to the end and got rid of Chase, since he knew that this could have been a topic that people brought up in the final tribal council, saying that he had it easy with having all these majorities going into the merge. And it was no easy task having to beat Loon at the end. Why he is 5th overall, I think is more to the fact that I think that the other 4 winners just have more to their name. Landslide is mainly known for immunities, which is good. I'm just more impressed with people who don't have to rely on immunities to get far.
The winner of Minecraft Survivor Legal, Infernox!
Making the top 4 is the winner of Survivor Legal Heroes vs Villains, Infernox. Now, Infernox was always a precious cinnamon roll, and that was no different when he played in Legal. But what did change in Legal is Infernox's approach to the game. He was a little more strategic and more willing to cut people when he needed to. He still had his fluff ups, like randomly voting JT at the merge and then accidentally voting off Ozzy, but he wasn't afraid to take risk, as shown at the 4th Tribal Council where he made the tribe go to rocks. It's just not the Infernox I'm used to seeing. It's also impressive how he was able to play the 2 sides, and then after being in the minority for the Kyle vote, to then gain power onwards and get himself to the end. He also had a good final tribal council. While the 3rd place person was obviously losing, it was definitely no difficult task to go against all ranks with his challenge prowess, but Infernox was able to do that and win the season of all returnees. That's another thing, it was an all returning season. He managed to beat 15 other people that played the game. Hell, he beat 4 winners. That's something to say.
The winner of Minecraft Survivor Hualong, Hope.
Hope is the winner of Survivor Hualong, and her game was very open and honest. First off, I have to mention that she's the winner with the most individual immunity wins out of the whole group, and she's tied with all ranks for the most immunity wins in a single season. But it wasn't just challenges Hope was good at, she also had the social game down. Despite being called out who knows how many times by her fellow players, she still managed to have the relationships with people that, despite her being called out, she wouldn't go home. She may get a few votes, but not enough to go home. She also managed to be able to play multiple sides when she needed to. She goes from targeting her old tribe, to then working with her old tribe, to then getting them out, and then getting their votes to win. It was at the point where Hope got rid of all of her threats that, at the final 3, we knew she was winning. At this point, it was just her deciding who gets 2nd place, because in comparison to A-Dog and 3rd place Lad, their games were not that good in comparison to hers. Also to the fact that she is the closest to a unanimous winner we have had, and probably would have been unanimous had Phoracia not been bitter with her. Now, I always said that these last 2, Jerry and Sooner, are tied for my personal favorite, and to me both played the best game out of the winners. But I gotta put one over the other, and after thinking about it over and over, I made my decision.
Of Minecraft Survivor Haraima, Jerry.
The second best winner to me is the second winner of the series, Jerry the Jerbear. To me, Jerry played a great game and had a great story. For being a pre-merge target for reasons, to then laying low and then making my personal favorite move, the blind side of all ranks, with an idol in his pocket and only doing it with 2 votes. After that vote, Jerry became the middleman for the final votes, and when you compare his game to the finalists, Ben, the innocent freshman, and Vision, who was all talk, no game, he really only didn't get all the votes because the juries were either bitter with him or they kind of pitied Ben. Jerry was right out of the gate, was somebody I was rooting for, and to see him do so well in his first season was great to watch. It's one of those games that's difficult to put into words, but you just know it's a good game. It's something that comes naturally. But alas, there's one person that I think did better than our Jerbear.
Winner of Minecraft Survivor Ivory Coast, Sooner.
The person I think played the best game out of all the winners is Mr. Sooner, the winner of Ivory Coast. Sooner played the best middle game anyone has ever saw. He was able to, once the merge came, easily work between the returnees as well as the rookies, and even between the alliances of the rookies. He never really got caught with his strat, and by the time people noticed it, it didn't really matter because it was too late. He was immune and guaranteed a shot at the end. And with his competition, he managed to get more than enough of the majority of votes to win. He's tied with Hope for the most wins that a winner has gotten with 6. He was also able to be under the radar as well as in control, making sure he was never a target by keeping around the right shields. He even made people think he was someone to rely on even when they were going home. Sooner's game has very little mistakes and to me is the best winner of all of Chris's survivors. There you got it. Those are my thoughts on the 8 winners of the series. Who do you think played the best game out of the 8? I wonder who the 9th member of this group will be. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Till my next random thought, everyone.